average Hebrew man that found out, got awakened by the Most High to who we was. Just want to drop some knowledge on y'all, let y'all invite y'all in my place on the Sabbath, which is Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. Always obey the Most High Sabbath over a man's. A Roman, the same Romans that killed the Messiah, changed the Sabbath to Sunday. In 105 languages, Saturday means Sabbath. In Hebrew is Sabbat. In Latin is Sabado. In English is Sabbath. In 105 languages, Saturday means Sabbath. Always keep his Sabbath holy. He said he rested the seventh day. That's why he asked you to. And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt. Egypt means slavery. That's the first place that the Hebrews were held in slavery. The word is Greek for hard bondage. When they saw it, they said this place was built with hard bondage. Egypt, again, with ships. There's no record of the Hebrews ever going back to the physical land of Egypt to serve slavery anymore. You know that because the Most High destroyed it when he freed us the first time. By the way I spoke unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. That has a double meaning. That means our homeland, where we were taken from, and it means slavery, what has had us going into slavery. It'll never happen again after this. And there you shall see it no more again, and there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. And at the bottom of that quotation, read that bottom quotation right there for me. What does that word say? Right there, that little small word.
It says
slaves.
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 Yeah.
Slaves.
And that's show us where that.
That's Deuteronomy's 28:68. That gives you proof positive that we are the only people on the earth that happened to. We're the only people on the earth that didn't have the identity. We're the only people on the earth that went into slavery on slave ships. That don't fit the people that call themselves Hebrews in Israel. They call themselves Jewish. Just by that name, they telling you themselves they are not Jews. For the word ish, the word ish is pertaining to, but not the original. They are not the original. They didn't go into slavery. They owned the slave ships. They owned the slave ships. They set up the trade as they bought us from the Arabs, who a lot of our people are into Muslim faith, which our faith predates them. What the white people are over there that claimed our heritage while we were in slavery, which is basically asleep. They say, well, they in slavery. We telling them they African Americans. When they wake up, we gonna tell them they descended of one of the 4 tribes of Africa, not the other people in the wilderness. We the Hebrews, and their God's name is Zeus. For Jesus is Jesus in European, where it come from. And the Greeks translated the New Testament. They worship Zeus. Therefore, they were able to put Jesus in the Bible, but they weren't able to change the context because it's divine. Because if they had did that, if they'd have known that, they would have took out the part where we went into slavery by ship. See, this Bible sits right in the back of the chair in the church, where they won't open it up and tell you that we the only people on the earth that happened to. It's right there in the Bible 5,000 years ago, telling you what's going to happen to you.
And that's in Deuteronomy?
That's Deuteronomy 28:6. That's proof positive right there. That did it for me, but it's so much more. Then I'm gonna run into some people. I'm gonna skip back and forth, but I'm gonna go straight to the thing. All right, they got the name Jesus in here, and they got a Bible with a white picture. But in here, it says, in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and a girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and hairs were white like wool, and white as snow. That means his hair was white, but it was like wool. It wasn't that straight, stringy hair, what you see with that blue-eyed J-man that they pronounce. I don't say his name because I don't have no reverence for nothing. I call him Messiah. I know that's what he is. No other entity can claim that. I claim the Most High for the Most High Creator, because any other name something could have been done while we were asleep, I'm going to make sure only the Most High get what I'm saying to the Most High. Then the Messiah says, in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and a girt about the paps, and a golden girdle. His head and hairs were white like wool, and white as snow, and his eyes a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, which is already brown, as if it burned in a furnace, and a voice like the sound of many waters. Now, if you take brass, that's already near our color right there. But just on top of that, he said, burned in a furnace. So you know, it ain't talking about nothing. It ain't talking about it ain't talking about no Arab. It ain't talking about Moses that you see on TV. It ain't talking about Yul Brynner as Pharaoh. It's talking about a man that skin is the color of something that was already brown, burned in a furnace with hair of wool. Again, that hits us. Hair of wool, skin of brass, burned in a furnace. There it is right there. That's not what the picture, but a picture say 1,000 words, so they show you a picture of a white man, and you might think that's who it is. They the ones living in the homeland. They the ones saying they Hebrews. We eating pork. We doing things that the book told us the Hebrews don't deal with. Then I'll give you another clue. All right, they got everything. It said the Hebrew would be on the bottom and no mic would be in his hand. Those people own the media, the banks, the money, the financial system, the military. That's might in your hand. But just so you don't have to take my word, the Messiah left you a word. Let me find it for you. 2 and 8. It says 2 and this is Revelation right here in the book of Revelation 2 and 9. It says to us, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty. He talking to Hebrews. The Messiah was a Hebrew. But thou art rich. That's because we got the knowledge. The knowledge is what's made us rich. That's what they took from us when they wouldn't let us read for 500 years. What do you think that was about? And it says, I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews. Now, ain't but one people on the earth saying they Jews. That's the ones in Israel. Say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Now, that star they got ain't mentioned nowhere in none of the books that you gonna have a star to represent my people. That's the star of Moloch. He mentioned it in there. You bore the star of your God. They had that in Egypt. That's not for the Hebrews. The Most High, that's called a hexagram. Now the hex would have something to do with witchcraft and the underworld and Satan and Demetry. The Most High ain't gonna equate himself with nothing like that. He too pure and too holy. Nothing with where the word hex is taken from is going to represent his people. He said, the Messiah said, you are poor, but you are rich at the same time. You are not rich in the sense of the world, but you rich in the sense of me because you got knowledge of me. You got knowledge to awaken my people. And just so you didn't forget what he said and that it wasn't, no, he didn't really mean that. That was symbolic. In the next chapter, he said the same thing again. In 3 and 8, he says, I know thy works. Behold, I have set before